How goes it, everybody? I'm the world famous Fat Kid, and we are doing the Week 8 review, which I'm not upset about. Big ol' 11-5, which could be better, could be worse, but it's winning record. That's all that matters. We had some upsets, so let's get into it. First, we're going to start with the Thursday night football game. Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Rams, and Minnesota, they're starting their skid. That's two in a row, which they'll be all right. 30-20 given up to the Rams. I think the Rams are better than they've shown because they're getting healthy now. I did not think Puka Nacua was going to play. I knew Kupp was coming back, but I didn't know Puka was coming back today. Sunday, Thursday, all the days. Yeah, if I would have known, maybe it would have changed my pick, but I went with the Vikings and they lost. So Thursday night football has been bad for me this year. Next, we're going to move on to the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns, and Jameis Winston leading the Browns to a 29-24 victory over the Ravens. Yeah. Running back one, Lamar Jackson, sucks. Okay, he doesn't suck. Two-time MVP, blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, Cleveland surprised me. I think they just needed a new quarterback. Granted, that's not going to fix everything, and it's a divisional game. Divisional games are crazy. Next, we're going to move on to the Tennessee Titans taking on the Detroit Lions, and this went just about how I thought. 52-14. Goff, I think, had less than 100 yards passing because he didn't need it. He was efficient, threw for 3 touchdowns. They were dominating. Lions, hey, that's the first win of the week. Next, we move on to the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans, and Houston squeaking out a win, 23-20, but they also lost Stephon Diggs for the year. So that's going to hurt, but I think they'll be okay. They're not exactly in a strong division. They should make the playoffs, but I don't know what's going to happen once they hit those bonus games. So, picked Houston. Got it. Next, moving on to the Green Bay Packers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Jacksonville may be waking up. They lost 30-27. I picked the Packers. I thought it was going to be a rout, and Jacksonville hung around. It took another last-second field goal by Brandon McManus for the Packers to win the game, and yeah, maybe Jacksonville can turn it around, but it might be a case of too little too late. Then we move on to the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Miami Dolphins, and I picked the Cardinals thinking Tua wasn't going to play. Tua did come back. I thought he was going to be out for another couple weeks. Maybe I should pay attention to injury reports more. Whatever, it's not a big deal. But Arizona squeaking out a 28-27 victory. I wish I cared about either one of these teams to actually have watched or known about how the game went. I just know the final score. Sorry, any Cardinals or Dolphins fan that may watch. Then we move on to the New Jersey Jets taking on the New England Patriots, and this is one of the upsets. I mean, Browns, Ravens, they normally split no matter how bad the Browns are, but it's still technically an upset. This is another divisional game that, anything could happen, but the Patriots have been extremely bad. The Jets had extremely high hopes, but they've been bad. I still consider it an upset. Argue with me if you want. That's fine. I'm cool with it. Patriots 25-22. I don't know much about the stats, but I saw on the ticker that they took the lead, and I couldn't believe it. The Jets are trash. It's exciting. Yeah, Drake May out with a concussion, though, so Jacoby Brissett had to step in, and he played well enough for the win. So We'll go with that. I got that wrong. I got that one wrong. Yay. I picked the Jets. Hope. Whatever. Next, we move on to the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which divisional matchups always crazy, but Atlanta has swept Tampa Bay and are now leading their division. I picked Tampa Bay. I thought Baker and the run game were going to actually make sure they were going to shore up the shortcomings of the offense with no Mike Evans or Godwin. It was only a 5-point game, but the Falcons, Pitts had a big game. Damn. Granted, it's only a game difference. I guess 2 games since they got swept, but the Bucs are still in it. I just hope that their receivers can get healthy. At least Evans can. Next, moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals, which I thought this was going to be one of the harder choices, and Philly made it easy. 37-17. Cincinnati's struggling right now, but they're going to have a bounce back, I'm sure of it. Anyway, I picked the Eagles, even though that was the one that I went, ha. I'm glad I changed my mind. Then we move on to the New Orleans Saints and the Los Angeles Chargers, which it started out ugly, like a 5-2 or 5-3, I think it was. It was something silly. It was a baseball score. But 26-8, Chargers ended up winning. I could only hope for their downfall soon. Spencer Rattler, not the guy you want in New Orleans, but it's kind of all you have. Sorry. Next, moving on to the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. Bills handled business, 31-10. Seahawks couldn't get anything going. Bills cruised. Simple enough, right? Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Then, the craziest game of Sunday. Chicago Bears taking on the Washington Commanders. And this one, I will say, if I knew Jaden Daniels was playing, I would have picked Washington. I expected him to at least miss a week, so I went with the Bears. I'm still taking the loss on it. But Washington with a last-second Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels to win the game. 15-12, less than, I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds on the clock left. Daniels hucked it up and it tip drill. The best part is there were videos of a Bears DB jawing at fans as the play was developing and the wide receivers were running their routes. A little distracted, but I think it's great. Washington's come out of nowhere. I think they're my favorite team this year. I want them to do well, mainly because Jaden Daniels. And Austin Eckler, but he's kind of the change of pace. You know, he's not the starter, but he's still a good piece. I like Austin Eckler. So anyway, I took the Bears. I would have taken Washington. No excuses. Moving on. Carolina Panthers taking on the Denver Broncos. And yeah, 28-14. Although Carolina jumped out to an early lead. And then Denver decided, yeah, we can't lose to them like the Raiders. Yep, every week. Get used to it. Yeah, Broncos won. I picked them, of course. Yeah, and speaking of the Raiders, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders, 27-20. It was a lot closer of a game than I thought it was going to be. The Raiders could have won, but first and goal on the 3, and you run it 3 times to the middle. Sorry, one of them you could say was to the right, but it didn't even... you got stuffed each time. So then what do you do on 4th down? Let's go for it. Oh, we're going to pass it this time? Oh, nope. The offensive line's just going to give up and, loss of yards. That changed the game. And then Antonio Pierce, I want to give him a chance. I was a big, push for Antonio Pierce, but he mismanaged the hell out of that clock. 5 minutes to go and you're calling timeouts. Just before the 2 minutes, you scored a touchdown to cut it to a 7-point lead. It's like 2:02. And you go for the onside kick, which left long enough to where the 2-minute warning goes off. So then all Kansas City has to do is kneel, kick the ball through the end zone. Don't let them even try a return. They get it at the 30. Fine. First down, you stop them. Maybe. That at least 2-minute warning. The clock is stopped. They now have second down. You stop them second and third. You would get the ball back. Granted, you'd have no timeouts and you'd only have like 20-some seconds to go, but that's better than just going, no, we're going to try the onside. Anyway, yeah, Chiefs are struggling, but they're 7-0. I don't understand what's going on. The referees in the NFL must love them. Next, we move on to the Sunday night football game. Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. And the Niners hold on 30-24. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I keep saying that because I thought the Niners were just going to kind of, not necessarily steamroll, but I figured it'd be a 10-point game. Nope. Whatever. I like watching Dallas lose. Anyway. Yeah, got that one right. And now we're going to close out the week with the Monday night football game. The New Jersey Giants taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this should not have been a primetime game, but I guess it's already set. This isn't the flexible portion of the season. Yeah, 18 for the Giants, 26 Steelers. Steelers really controlled the game, but it was too close. The Steelers should have ran away with this. I don't understand what's going on, but we got it right. So, like I said, finished off with the 11-5 record. Feeling good. Sorry I kind of rushed through this, but kind of busy week. So, yeah, we're going to get to it. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good one. And until next time, later.